Good evening, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Band of Barbers podcast. I'm your host, Devon Evans. Thank you guys for tuning in and joining us tonight. Tonight has been a long night. I'm getting started pretty late. It's 11:55, so I'm still within my daily window that I've set for myself as far as recording and doing episodes and things like that for you guys. Today I got started pretty late because I was doing some work on the business and time just kind of got away from me. One of the things I will say, guys, is like you really need to understand that working on your business, although it can be hard and frustrating, it is vital because it's the bloodline of your business. It's where all of your policies, where you iron out all the details, you calculate your income and things of that nature. And those things happen outside of being behind the chair. And if you're a business owner and working in business for yourself, these are all things that you're going to have to do, sit down and figure out. And it may take some time because you're not used to doing it. You don't have the experience. And so there's a lot of variables. There's a lot of things that will come up that you'll question, that you will think about. And my best advice to you guys is definitely have something, a piece of paper, a notebook, something to write on, something to scratch on, map out ideas. If you're not a pen and paper person, then have a computer or a tablet in front of you, something where you can write down your ideas, what you're thinking, see if it makes sense, write it down once, write it down twice, write it down 3 times, double check your numbers, make sure everything is suitable to your business and to your lifestyle as far as a business is concerned. For me, it's a struggle some days. Tonight was one of those struggles. I think I've been working on this for probably maybe 3-4 hours. I've gotten to a place where I feel comfortable stopping. I'm not sure I'm at an exact place where I am 100% satisfied. I'm in a kind of a wavery place, I guess you can say. I'm not necessarily sure that I like what I've done or 100%. So still going to sit down, still going to, revisit it tomorrow, look at it again. And my goal is by the end of the weekend to really have it kind of ironed out and figured out. So, until then, I just keep working it. I keep working it, keep working it, keep working it. And just like we talk about guys with technical skills and things like that, like you don't just stop when you don't figure it out the first time or it doesn't look the way you want it to look in the beginning. You keep working it until you see and find the results that you're looking for. You just keep at it. You stay consistent. You stay present. Don't die out and don't bow out because it gets hard. Yes, it may get hard. It may be difficult, but in the end, the more you really understand and take the time to understand what you're doing, and that's technical skills or business skills, the easier it will get and the easier it will be in the future because you'll have all of this stuff ironed out and laid out. The last thing you really want to do is get into a moment or get into business and you're running and then you realize that you didn't do something right in the business or you didn't take the time to learn the skill the right way and now you're scrambling trying to either fix the mistake that you made. Either way, and so, in the business wise, that can cost you money. In the technical skill set wise, that can cost you time. That can cost you costly mistakes that may even cost you a client if you make a bad enough mistake. So take the time, trust yourself, know that even going slow in the process is better than rushing through and throwing something out there that you don't necessarily really like and or believe in. And that's just really it. Like, this is your business. This is your thing. And you have to look at all of the factors and make choices based on the information that you have at the time. Now, the information that you have at the time may change. The information that you have at the time will change over time. But you need to be comfortable enough and build enough of a safety net within your business. And we're talking about really just kind of calculating finances and numbers and things of that sort. But it's again, it's also true in technical skills. If you're looking to do a dark low fade, maybe you pull out maybe your mind says pull out the foreguard and start to and debulk with the foreguard. And that may be what your mind says, but if you're unsure, maybe pull out the six guard. Maybe pull out the six guard, or do uh, a heavier clipper over comb and leave some more bulk, but just frame it that way. And then do your low fade. If you need to make an adjustment, you can make an adjustment. But the going saying is that I can always cut more off, but I can never put it back on. Now, yes, if you're doing a man unit or something like that, you can put the hair back in. We all know that. We all know that. So don't say that. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that once you make a choice, make a decision, there's a process that you have to go through to get back to a place where you're comfortable. And it's better to be uncomfortable before you make that decision and work it until you're comfortable with it than for you to not make the decision, than for you to rush out and just do something. And now you've not only added stress, you've added stress, you've made mistakes, you've done all of these things. And instead of being patient and taking your time and really functioning and figuring it out, you rushed. You rushed. And if I'm talking to a barber here, we've all seen a barber who is a good barber, but he gets in a moment where he rushes and he makes very costly mistakes that cost him time and potentially cost him money. Right? He makes very costly mistakes. He slaps a guard on, he's going too fast, takes a big chunk out, boom. Now what does he do? Oh my goodness. Over time, it becomes easier, for my more seasoned, more veteran barbers that may be tuned in. Over time, we know, hey, maybe I want to put a 2, but I'm going to start with this 4 to see how the hair reacts. Especially for a new client. For a new client, you don't necessarily know the client's hair texture, the way the hair grows, the way it lays and things like that. So you may need to start with something bigger and work your way to smaller than jumping into that smaller thing and not knowing whether that's going to work out well. And all right, so I'm gonna give you the debate of well, it wasn't necessarily a debate, the conversation I had with my wife tonight, and now thinking about it like this, it kind of makes sense. So, you know, I am trying to figure out the final numbers for tuition. So trying to figure out final numbers for tuition and kits and all of these things, because when we initially did this, we were planning on a different space. We were looking at prices when they were much different, and our distributors' prices have changed, not necessarily drastically, but they've changed over time. And my wife brought a very, very valid point. She said, start with the number that we know, that we're comfortable and that we trust. If we need to go smaller, if we need to go less, if we need to give a discount, we can give a discount. But you don't know what people are going to be willing to pay. They could find a way. And it's funny that we had a debate back and forth about the possibilities or the means that our potential students may have. And then I think now I'm talking heavily about these technical skills, and I'm saying, maybe we start bigger and go smaller. And that's exactly what she was saying. She was saying, listen, we start with the number that we know. This is the number that we're really comfortable with. People may have that money. And so if they have that money, then they'll pay that money. And, she's right. And it makes a lot of sense. It really does. It makes a lot of sense. I had to put it in a different perspective, and things like that. But I'm giving you guys, like I said before, I'm giving you guys inside access to some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that most people don't talk about. And it's a very, very valid, realistic point. It just is. It's valid. And yeah, so I think that mapping out and doing some of the things that we did as far as going over numbers, figuring things out, and this, that, and the third, it will allow me some leeway because we know where our top is, we know where our bottom is, and based on the parameters that we're going to set in place, then we have some if-then situations. If they can't do this, then maybe we can offer them this. If they can't do that, then maybe we can offer them this, and so on and so forth. And we move it along in just that way, just that manner. So, guys, it's little simple. It's not simple. It's processes like that, and connecting and seeing where things connect the dots and how they flow together, that really will help you in business. If you're struggling with an idea or a business thought, see where you can connect it to something else. I said we spent most of the night talking about finances, budgets, numbers. We weren't talking about haircuts. We weren't talking about anything like that. But when I sat down to talk to you guys, and I started talking, and I was trying to make the correlation so you could see how it affects in both places, in my brain, I connected the two. If I'm unsure of myself, if I'm going to use this guard, I'm always going to go at least 1 to 2 sizes bigger. See what goes on there. Maybe we'll go smaller. Maybe we'll do that. and it's really it's really that simple. So guys, you have to think outside the box as a business owner, as as the guy, the girl. Like you're doing, in the initial starts of a business, unless you have quite a big budget, you are everything. You're the barber, the HR, the manager, the janitor. You do it all. And if you spend too much time focusing on just being a barber, the business as a whole will suffer because you didn't pay attention to the other things that are part of the equation or the puzzle. I'm not saying don't focus on your skills. I'm not saying that at all. I am saying you got to spend time in both places. You got to spend time in both places. Both places are vital to your success. Both places are vital to the business as a whole. And if you want to grow and continue to grow, you're going to have to take time for both, right? You're going to have to take time for both. You took time to learn how to be a barber, to understand and learn the technical skills. Now understand how to be a barberpreneur or a entrepreneur who is the owner of their barber business. It's a business, and a business has multiple facets. And you need to have a basic understanding of each one of them. And the more important, in my opinion, the most important thing that you need to have an understanding of is your numbers. You need to understand your numbers. Your numbers will allow you to have leeway behind the chair. If you have a goal, all right, we talk about our $100,000, our $100,000 goal for the year. If you have a goal, right, and okay, I got to make $384 or $82.62 a day to work 5 days a week at $30 a head. If you have that goal in mind, if you have a $600 day, you know that there is not so much pressure on you to get another $300 day the next day. If you don't, if something comes up that you need to take care of with your family, all right, I still got my goal. I still got what's going on, but I can sacrifice this amount of time. I only need this window of time, especially if you're taking appointments. If I got to go do something with my family, but I still need to stay on track for what I'm doing. And like I said, you made $600 the day before, then you know that you need, $120, $130 to still be on track? That's it. You need $130, $140 to still be on track. And say you're taking appointments, you know that, hey, guess what? Let's say I need 4 haircut services or 4 haircut and beard services because, our haircuts and beards will cost more. So if let's say we're charging 30 for 30, 30, our price ticket of 30 for a haircut, and we charge 50 for a haircut and a beard. Guess what? Hey, my day can work if I can get 3 haircut and beards for that day. But I never would have understood that. You would never understand that if you didn't understand your numbers. Understanding your numbers. You need goals. Goals to go toward. You need goals. And in those goals that you need, like you have to stay focused. Your goals are the directions. If you don't have any, if you just say, hey, how much money do you want to make a year? Oh, I want to make a bunch of money. What is a bunch of money? Because a bunch of money to me and a bunch of money to you may be totally different, two totally different things. But if you said to me, oh, I need to make, $100,000 or let's say you said, I want to make $50,000 a year. Boom. There you go. I want to make $50,000 a year. That's great. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. And now I'm super excited because you know where you're trying to go. $50,000 a year behind the chair, not a difficult task. Not a difficult task as long as you have your business managed correctly. As long as you know what's going, it's not a difficult task. So I've said a lot tonight, guys. But again, listen, man, just stay focused. Stay focused. Stay present. Don't get stressed out as best you can. Understand this is a business, and the business takes time to plan, build, and grow. Don't get stressed out. Believe in yourself. You know that you can do it, or you never would have tried it. Nobody's trying anything to fail, but failure is a part of trying. Failure is a part of trying, but failure is also a part of success. It's a major part of success. If you learn from it. It's a major part of success if you take those failures, you take those mistakes, and you learn from it and you grow. Now, if you just fail to fail, then you fail. But if you fail and you use the information from your failure to build you up for the future, success is bound to come. You're going to run into it. And when you reach success, it won't be a stranger because you worked the process and you walked all the way through it. You walked all the way through the process. But anyways, guys, it's late. I appreciate you guys tuning in, listening to my post business strategy decompression session. I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy. As always, please like, comment, and share, subscribe so we can grow the tribe. I'm your host, Devon Evans. This has been another episode of the Band of Barbers podcast. Thank you and have a good night.